Channel. Hopefully. What did I forget this time? The title's right, so it's not that. I'm always like, what did I forget to do this time? Hey, Patrick, look at that. Patrick, can you hear us?
Oh, I need to log into chat.
Hi. That's good. I guess you can hear us then. Awesome. You missed a wonderful ending last night, Patrick. After you logged off, I killed everyone. I'm just kidding. This button. Hey, Mystical. Good to see you. Please bear with me tonight on topic. I'm going to be all over the place. Just one of those J-isms tonight.
I'm the one that have to say I'm sorry because this is your topic way more than mine.
Oh, that's okay. I mean,
can ask questions, but
yeah.
I will not be able to help.
But
yeah.
you've like, especially Tomb of the Lizard King, you've noted a lot of key locations on your map, but that's all right. We got
yeah,
this.
I read it through one forever ago, so to speak, like 10, 12,
But
15
this
years
other one is going to be good because we're going to delve into the world of Frank Menser on the other one.
Ah, cool.
Because it's basically mostly his. So.
Yeah. See, that you know more than me. Yep.
Yeah. Which is a neat thing to do, yeah. So, hey, Dave.
I get to know things. That's the cool thing. I get to know things.
I'm doing okay, Mystical. I'm doing well. You know, it was a great show, great game last night. I'm falling behind, and it's always something going on. But it's cool. No complaining here at all. It's going real well. Everyone's cranking, and everyone's getting in their events for Virtual Greyhawk Con, and John just finalized the names of his 2 events. I just edited them in for Blue Box, so they're in there. And Anna's going to put hers in with sign-ups after we're done here on Gabbin. That's going to be awesome. Hey, Maycam, Gabriel. Good to see everyone. And we had 5 giveaways last night, and that was great. Luke Gygax was hysterical. He just some of the scenes were, just so funny last night with Darling and her thief, Rosie, halfling thief, was so funny. That was a hoot. Awesome. The moral of the story: how does one lose a piece of paper with vital information on it when you had it in your hand just before? Answer: I have no freaking idea how I lost it. So. Could be stacked in with this group. Nope. I can't fixate anymore. Hey, Keith. Hey, Cam. Everyone else. Good to see you all. Oh, I almost preempted a wrong button right off the bat there. Oh man, I almost did the shout out, not the. Okay, that's good. How's my sound? Is my sound okay? It's not too high. My voice.
From my perspective, it's great.
All right, good.
Yeah.
Tried to stabilize it a little bit. So.
wrong button here.
Almost. Lime's good. Good to hear. Good to hear. Shout outs, okay. Alrighty. A Phantom, Rad Trills, good to see you both. Hope everyone's enjoyed their weekend so far.
Troll Lord
Stinks when it's on Sunday night coming up. They are Gabriel. Jeremy does. I mean, Jeremy from Gamescape. He's a one-man show. He customizes by our request. He customizes stuff for us. The next one you're going to see that's super custom is he collaborated with Mike Disney to get the Witch's Hut for this Halloween for the Overgourd. You know, we do an over. You know, for that Overgourd print that Mike has. So he's working on that. It's on his Patreon, the pictures for it. It's not a walking hut, but it's really a neat look. It's a good look. So, plus we're going to have him do some of the locations in Free City of Altamira as a Kickstarter bonus when we get to that point in the Altamira project. Yeah, it's kind of a mix of that. It's he's also doing a large plateau because a huge request has been. Everyone knows I use old GeoHex, right, from like the 90s with my raised elevations. It's that high density foam. It's really hard to get a hold of. You can still get some unlimited. It's so expensive, and the guy just custom hand makes it now. But he's trying to. Those elevations have been requested by a lot, so he's trying to create them. It depends on what goes on with Troll Lord and myself. I'm the bottleneck right now, so we're getting there. I'm hoping at worst case end of the year. It's not that far off, so. Paper supply and all that stuff takes it into account. We're getting there though. Okay. That Troller thing's really cool. Let me hit a button here. Hopefully I don't hit a wrong one. There we go. Hey, Chosio, good to see you. Do some reminders to those who need reminders, like Josh. Oh, you got Fantasy Grounds? That's good. That's good. That's good. It's got a learning curve, but man, there's a lot you can do with it. And also, it's got Classic too, so that's all second edition rules. So you have both. You have a 5th edition and 2nd edition in there. So that's a cool thing. And a lot of the modules are written in 2B. Get them in 2B, Could that be something I forgot to do? Nope. All right. I thought I may have done a wrong. Let me set this up now. I'm talking to myself, everyone. I'm tired. I babble incessantly when I'm tired. Get started just so I don't have to go back to it. Yeah. With Fantasy Grounds especially, you're absolutely right. There's a ton of people who are willing to help. 100%. You're dead on that. Absolutely. See, look, I'm missing my picture there. It's missing. That's weird. It like didn't like it for some reason. There, got it back. That was weird. Hey, Troy. Good evening. Some deep dives in the Wall of Fame. I'm gonna be all over the place though, because fish out of water, or I don't know. I want to talk about something else too, and I should save it for a couple weeks when John and Blue Box comes on, but I'm not sure if he's going to go on. I'm not sure what week that is. It's the 28th. I think it's in 2 weeks, and I'm not 100% sure. What day is it? Oh, it's Sunday. So, yes, it's one of those nights. Good evening, everyone. I'm Jake Lurkazumber. With me is Anna Meyer. How are you, Anna?
Yeah, I'm doing fine. I've had a long game session this morning.
Long game session's good though.
It was good. Yep.
Did you kill anyone?
No, not all the characters, but they killed not that many monsters. In a lot of my combat, the monsters are kind of skirmishing, but they killed some skeletons and some zombies and zombie trolls. One of the specialties for this campaign.
Nice. Well, that's good to hear. Death is always fun.
Yep, they got into the big fight now. It's the biggest fight for my entire campaign so far. It's one of the really big kind of epic ones, and they probably go on like 3-4 sessions before it's done.
Chozio just said she was being mean, so I'm assuming that's one of your players.
Yes. That's Dwayne. That's one of my players.
Oh, okay. Yep. That's awesome. That's great. So if you don't know, and maybe you all don't, that Anna and I were just talking before, that Anna is actually going to run her game on. Go ahead, Anna. Why don't you explain it?
Oh yeah, for Virtual Greyhawk Con. That will be a session of my campaign that will go and we'll try and make it as epic as possible. That will be, we will have 3 seats for people to come and sign up and participate, and it will be streamed.
Yes, and that'll be Sunday morning.
Yep.
We think 10 to 2 p.m. CDT. Hey, Amy, will be the time frame for that, 10 to 2 CDT. And then they'll raid into Guild Superior, and Guild Superior will raid into the Greyhawk Guest, the experts. So if you didn't last night, I'm excited about that. That's awesome. So in the last week, Casey Brown put in his 3 adventures for his Bandit Kingdoms tourney. That's in. And we got a couple other things coming still. So we're getting more and more events in. Anna's going to put hers in tonight.
Yep.
John at Blue Box finalized the information on his. That's updated. So that's going really well. And Luke Gygax confirmed after the game last night that he will either be in the Joust or the Ask the Expert show, or maybe both.
Cool.
So we'll find that out too.
Yep.
So
there will be more details on the sign up and stuff. So
absolutely,
but there will be pre-gens for everybody. So you get to pick and choose in the order you sign up, so to speak. So the one signs up first will get to pick from all of them. So there will be NPCs and other appropriate characters for my campaign and the scenario, and you will be thrown straight into the action.
That's it.
Yep.
Right into the fire, right in the frying pan.
But there will be backstories on all the all the characters that people can play. So
that's great. I really appreciate that. And that'll be fantastic and fun. All right, so tonight we're giving these both away to the same person. You get to win both the ones we're going to discuss on my Wall of Fame: Egg of the Phoenix and Tomb of the Lizard King. I'm waiting for someone out there who's going to bust my stones. But this one isn't Greyhawk. right?
Yeah, that's the big question. Where does it fit in?
Well, it can fit in a lot of places. So
Mhm.
if we go back, this is one of the first 100 ones I ever did. Well, let's just flip. Well, all right, another thing. So, like I said, I'm sorry. I'm all going to be all over tonight. My apologies. So, last night I made up a couple things, and wait a minute. What button? What button here? Go to this, and then go to this. All right. Alan Hammock's Day of Alec Bar. I made up the lamp of the Caliphate and the and a charm of the Caliphate, both rumored to have been wielded or had Al Hagbar himself had touched them.
Yeah.
None of that can be substantiated. None of that is, and I didn't enumerate exactly what their powers were, but they were powerful, just like a minor artifact or a lesser artifact should be. You may not know. That's the whole thing. You could be nebulous, like I was, unless one of your characters, like Rosie, tries to take it. So that happened last night, but she did not get away with absconding with it. So that was kind of
Yeah.
that was kind of yep. So Chuck just texted me something, and the dings will be coming soon on my phone, like usual during the stream. Oh my God! Stop, Chuck. So that's okay, Chuck. If you're on, thank you. So just note that there's nothing wrong with doing that. I kind of threw that in there. They were successful, and the person / Jan that they did this for, they didn't know it was a Jan till near the end. Took them back to the Caliphate, and all was happy in the world. So just note that there's nothing wrong with you as a DM creating some things that are can be of high power, but just you don't need to get into the weeds and detail. My God, he knows I'm live, right? Chuck knows I'm live, so like he goes, I'm going to a baby shower. Do I need to know that right now, Anna? Do I need to know he's going to a baby shower right
No,
now?
you
I
don't need
don't
to.
need to know that live, so I turned the dinger
We might think
off.
that it's good for you to know and good for us to know. So now
Oh
we have
my
100 other people in the
gosh!
world that knows that. So yeah.
Yes. All right. So this is the day of Alec Bar. It's not on my wall of fame, but I just wanted everyone to know that this is another cool adventure. It's by Alan Hammock. Everyone knows Alan. Alan is Ghost Tower of Inverness, right?
Yep.
And we haven't discussed that yet on the Wall of Fame, but so this does exist. This can be placed in very easily in the Backloonish lands in Greyhawk. It's kind of neutrally based, but it is an adventure that was made, I want to say, in the early 80s. I don't have the exact date on this, but I just wanted everyone to know 86, this one is. That it does exist, and I don't know if any of you out there have played it, but
Nope,
I've never played it. I have it in hard copy, but I've never played that one. So
yeah.
just note that, and we'll get to that later. So, okay. All right. Hey, Anna. Hey, that's cool, man. Oh, every room in the house? I am honored there, Curtis.
Yeah.
I am absolutely honored for that. Yeah, same here, Amy. It's just like I didn't. So I went about. Let's tell the story. You get a high level adventure, and then you don't realize the scope of what you're dealing with, or you get an adventure that is like and this is levels 5 to 9. I think it's a little higher, and this is our first one in our Wall of Fame here, Egg of the Phoenix. Now it says Frank Metzer and Paul Janelle Jack. I turned that ringer off. I turned that ringer off.
You have to turn the whole
I
phone
turned that
off.
freaking ringer off.
Yeah.
My title's wrong? Did I not update my title? Is that what I forgot to do? Chuck? Oh my gosh. No, it's right. Wall of Fame Deep Dive. Egg of the Phoenix and Tomb of the Lizard King. What's he talking about? It's correct. It looks correct to me. Does anyone see anything wrong with my oh my gosh. He's messing with me. So
Yeah.
Janelle Jacquays and Frank Metzer.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So this is a compilation, and if you have any of them, thank you, Mike. Chuck may have gone right to. It just doesn't say I9. Okay. You know what? You know what it may be? Chuck may have gone right into one of the vids and doesn't even realize he's in a vid.
Yeah, I've done that mistake several times.
That could be it. And he's in a vid, and he's So, now I'm he flustered me now. Everyone, I'm okay here. So, we pop the Wall of Fame up here, and you get to these really. Back in the day, we all assumed. I don't know how old I am. I'm when this came. Oh, I know how. I'm 19, and I'm like, I want to run this, but it's not. It's based in Empiria, which was the world that Frank had. But I want to run this because it's cool. But I don't want to take them out of the world. I don't think Ravenloft was really even around yet at that time. So I said, I'm going to place this somewhere in a mountain range with a valley, and like one of those bad TV episodes where you don't know where it is in a series of, but it happens. So that's kind of what I did with this one early on. It was just like, wow, I wanted to run this, just because I thought, I know nothing about this. It looks really cool. It looks like a really great story.
Mm-hmm.
Turns out that this is a legendary series that if you have these, you're wealthy, right? So we start here. This is R1, which is the first part of this. So the 8 of Falcons. Okay. These are RPGA tournament modules, and if you have this in like a really good condition, it's worth at minimum $800. This adventure minimum. All right. Yeah, that's to the 8 of Falcons. Second one, Investigation of Heidel, R2. Okay. The third one, which is the cover of the, Egg of the Phoenix, which is the title that they went with this on the Master one. Cool, Curtis. Fourth one. Is Phoenix spelled wrong? Is that what it is? Oh my gosh. Well, I'll fix that in a second. No, Phoenix is spelled right. Oh my gosh. You're messing with me now. Doc's Island. So here are the 4 ones. These are like the penultimate collector's items adventures. These are the ones. If you had these signed by Frank too, or they're even worth even more. These are. Does anyone out there have any of these in hard copy? I was just curious to know, so I know where you live. And I'm just kidding. Sold auction for $20 back in the 90s. Yeah. You sold it? Oh my God, Michael! Wow, $20.
Yeah.
Holy jeez. You have R1. Okay. Yeah. I mean, these are treasured, absolutely treasured items. So, and these are all by Frank Menser and put together with some tweaks. I think that's where Janelle came in. You get this, and it's a thick adventure. This is a reprint, by the way. These are the 2 we're giving away for tonight. Okay. But here's my copy. This itself is worth a ton of money, but mine's beat to hell. And of course, Jay doesn't realize that modules are going to be worth money back in the day. Highlighters everywhere, so it doesn't matter.
So what were this is the I-12.
This is I-12.
Yeah. What are the other numbers of the other ones?
The I series?
Yeah. Also, they're all I series.
Yeah. Tomb of Lizard King's I-2. It's just a mix of different things.
And they're all set in Imperia, or
no, just this one.
Okay.
So the I series don't interlink at all. That's the thing. So
they're not really a series.
They're not like no, they're not. This is the I series is a mess. I think they just I is independent. I that's what I'm thinking. Independent of others is what, and that's a good question. If we can figure out from someone who like the S1 to 4 stuff, it's not connected. Exactly, Mike. So none of them are connected to each other. So hold on one second. I'll give you an idea. Give me 1 second here. I have first edition. Okay. Pharaoh. The I3, 4, and 5 are connected. Pharaoh, Oasis, the White Palm, Lars Tomb of Martek, the Desert Desolation series. Ravenloft is I6. Baltron's Beacon is I-7. Dev
Ooh.
Akbar's not I-9. Ravenloft 2 is
Yeah.
I-10.
So they are kind of, some of them are already connected
Three of them.
somewhat to Greyhawk.
Three of them. Yeah, but the Desert of Desolation are not a Greyhawk either, right? Intermediary, is that what it is, BB? Okay. Hey,
Okay.
that's good to know if that's what it means.
Yeah.
But Jay, there's a signed R1 on eBay for $9,000 with 28 people watching the auction. Yeah, R1. Yep. It's just exploded. Hey, Doc, that is insane for that much for an adventure. All right, so I did not notice when I first ran it how momentous this was that they put this together and they go, we're going to re-release this into a whole Egg of the Phoenix series. Let me just do a little quick synopsis of this. It's been a long time since I've run it. Whoops, a very, very long time. But there are some momentous things that happen in this adventure. In particular, there's another plane you're on. It's a demi-plane called Sepulcher, and it's really spooky. It's a really, really, I mean, if this comes from Frank's head, I can see where there's genius in it, Anna. It is like, it's a small demi-plane where you can actually walk it. It's circular, but you'll come right back to where you are. It's almost like those places out of Q1. They're small planetoids or whatever. So it has that feel to it.
A small sphere, and then you come back again.
Kind of that feeling. But let me see. Boom. Okay. All right. So here's Egg of the Phoenix. Levels 5 to 9 seems low for me a little bit, but then again, I'm getting tainted with other stuff. Horror Before Ravenloft, yeah. S meant special. Okay. So with this, that's near the end. This plane of Sepulcher, though, has a moon shaped in a skull that has eyes that do beams down on the surface, and like if you get caught in that, it's really bad. I mean, really crazy stuff. Pocket Dimension comes with a little prance. You're counting basic D&D because there was B1I in search of adventure. That number of had a linking plot line. Yeah, that they never had one at the beginning. So not only do you go to a demi-plane, you fight all 4 of the evil elemental princes at the end. Ogremok, Yan Sebin, Oladra, I'm missing the other one, Imix. You also go back in time 1,000,000 years, which is pretty cool. And yeah, that's new. Hey, Classic Sam, thanks a lot. Good to see you. Hope you're doing well.
Sam. Yep.
Hope you're doing well. Some really neat stuff in this. Hey, darling. Darling, you're the talk of the town after you tried to steal the lamp of the caliphate last night. But even better yet, darling, when you intentionally took that potion of delusion, it was one of the funniest things I've ever seen. That was just hysterical. So kudos to you on that. And then walking up to Luke's character and just pickpocketing him right in the open, that was funny. Wonderful times. So this adventure is a full series of those R series put together into an entire little mini campaign setting. Look at the you got it was developed from Mencers by Janelle Jackways, Keith Parkinson art. I mean, you got some big names in here. So
yeah, production value. You have to remember it's in 1986, so this was really good for its time. Yep.
Yep. So it's really a great. And I'm going to talk about that too. And thank you, Chuodori online gave me some information. I'm going to talk about that, and it's a little bit of a downer, but I think it should be discussed. Something that happened a few years ago. So from these, you have all these books, and they've been kind of condensed down into those adventures into this series. You are doing investigations in Heidel. You're helping Falx, which I believe is the Phoenix, if I recall correctly. Where there's some fights early on, some really neat challenges. And I want to say I was impressed by this. And you got to remember, in 1986, I had no idea who the hell Frank Menzer is. I don't know, right?
Yep. Before, I think the first time I heard about him was when Temple of Elemental Evil came out. That's serious.
When
That
he
was the
helped,
first time.
when he
Yeah,
worked
I
with
think that was the
Gary
first time
Gygax.
I saw his name on anything or so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because this one passed me by. Yeah, I wasn't really. I might have seen it.
This is a
before
limited
and-
print. Like I said, this itself, what, about $100 minimum on eBay now?
Yeah.
This one.
But
Yeah.
it didn't ring a Greyhawk bell for me, so, and it wasn't generic, so, and I might not have seen it originally either, so yeah.
That's my bad language there. Falx, not flax. Jeez, Jay. Falx. Falx, it is. And if you see in R2, R1, I'm sorry, to the 8 of Falx. There. This, all right, so I'll talk about something here. We had this situation. You're trapped. It's a trap where you got undead coming and trolls coming out one, and then they're above and they're pouring oil down on you off this rampart down into this corridor, and it is a really disgusting trap. That picture there. So note that is something that it actually happens in the adventure, and with that. Setup, it is not fun at all. It is a tough one. As a matter of fact, our buddy Gary, who doesn't play anymore, he had his character Prep. Now, Prep is, back then we're dumb. All right, Prep is a dwarf fighter. It's short for something. You guys may be able to figure that one out. But he kind of went down here, and his body was crisped because he was putting the negatives, and he's lying in the flaming oil on the ground, and just really affected his comeliness from that point on. So, ugh, don't give it. Anna does traps like these all the time in her underground lairs. I mean, look at So this was a great scene that happens in this adventure here. So you really, that's so awesome.
I have a thing for trolls. Yes, and hags. You haven't seen that one yet.
Well, darling, you're free Sunday. Maybe you want to play in Anna's game. We're gonna get that posted tonight. So,
yep.
I know you want to play Friday and Sunday. Here it is. There's a picture again. Okay, same thing. And yeah, it is. Beware, do not enter lycanthrope breeding room. There's all sorts of great things in there. It's a tough adventure. I thought the traps were really insidious in this. So have at it and have fun. Have fun with this one, going through and figuring this out. But it goes from this to Heidel out. Then you have to go through. And let me get through this. All sorts of monsters here, flying mounts. There's you're brought before a council, and they send you on missions because they need this egg recovered, but they don't know how to get to it. So what they do is, here's North Ending. They take you in, and they take you into this great pit. They say you're going to have to go through this. Here's the thing, though: when you go into this, it takes you back in time. It's a time portal. And when you go through this, you come out, and there's dinosaurs. John or Blue Box will go crazy. There's dinosaurs everywhere, and you're back a million years in time, and you have to figure out.
A million years?
Yeah, a million years. So.
Wow.
What's up, Bill? Yeah, Bill. Do you remember this? Oh, Bill was not. No, Bill does not. You know why? He came in '92. Duh on me. Let me see if I have the. I thought I had the group that did this one. Yeah, you didn't do this, Bill. You weren't even here yet. I know. So I'm gonna think it was Walt, Marco, Tim. That's 86. No, it was later than that. It was 88. Tim's probably away at college. Marco, Walt, Gary. Maybe it was only the three of them. I'm thinking there was someone else there too. High level, 5th and 9th level, but you come through the Great Pit and you're like, what the heck is going on here? Not realizing here the caves of time, not realizing you've gone back into time, and this is the only way to solve this issue, which is really kind of a cool thing. It's kind of genius. It's so far back in time that it's not going to affect, like, you have to do this, but it's not going to it's not like it's 10 years earlier and you can go and find someone, there's no one alive. So it's pretty neat. Yep. Tomb is did that, one of my favorite. We're going to get to that one. But stick around, Bill, because what we're going to do is we're going to break between them. I know you don't want to come on, but I'm going to talk about creating a new class real quick and a new subclass, because you're going to be playing one on Thursday, and I want to talk about what you did. All right, we're going to talk about that tonight. So, hey, Mike, and thank you, Armin, for the hype train. And by the way, thank you. We had like a level 4 and a level 5 at like 800 some crazy % last night, plus all the other support in the game last night with Luke Gygax. I really appreciated it. Thank you so very much. Look, the dawn of Demi-Man.
It's Demi-Man.
The dawn of Demi-Man.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Demi-Man. Yeah.
Yes.
Is that the beginning of elves and dwarves?
I guess so. I mean, that's just how wonderful. Thank you, Shattered. Thank you for doing that.
But that's kind of cool, because I'm thinking about that for my campaign. Now I need to read this.
Yeah, I would read this, Anna. Yep. I would specifically read this.
Yeah.
Men with weird eyes. Oh my gosh.
Okay, there you go.
The hot dog. Yeah, it just.
The hot dog.
Yeah, it was a hellhounds back then. Warning beyond lives evil. Yes, as you go. Shrine to the Lost. So I don't know if he was like poking Land of the Lost on this one or not, but like there's all sorts of stuff running around here that you don't, just from that time frame.
Yeah.
I think there's a T-Rex in here, if I recall. There's a purple worm in there. So there's demons running all around. That's it. Here's a type 6, just a Balrog, Baylor, no big deal. There's pterosaurs. I'm not sure when you get out, if there's any other great things here. So when you get through and you were successful doing what you need to do there, it's time to go and there's a gate to the ethereal plane. And time will float you into the plane of Sepulchre, which is even a nastier place. Fire on Sepulchre. So you're actually going to end up, so you got planar travel on this too. Now this is pre-Planescape, right? So, but remember, there's adventures where you're playing on the astral plane, like if everyone remembers Fedefensor, which is you're going to a Githyanki port, basically on the astral plane. And was that in Dragon, Mike, Celestian, or anyone else remember? So, and thank you for the hype train. So we may do a second giveaway tonight. So just run the mill type 6. Yeah. So Mike, hope you're doing well. We're all looking forward to you hanging out with us in about a month. So yeah, the Githyanki Silver Swords. So yep, you're on the plane of Sepulchre. There's all sorts of crazy stuff, undeads, because really it's not a place for the living. The Firebird is like there's the Firebird, which is like the Phoenix. I guess they call it that differently. So you have to deal with that. So did Tunarath already exist back then? GM, you're gonna have to be more specific. I don't know that. So, and Scottish Jeff, no worries. I'll get that right to Josh Pop. The city of Gith in the Astral Sea. I don't think so. I don't think it was anywhere developed as that. Probably is during Planescape era. Because you remember, that's my guess. Is that when it happens? Unlike the Temple of Evil, here you fight the Elemental Princes at the end, which is cool. Absolutely, Rip. I agree 100%. And here's the Firebird, which is a lesser Phoenix. And now, once you gain the egg of the Firebird, you have to go back and return through the prime material plane. The logical route is through the terminal planes. So it is possible to climb back down the Great Pit to the caves, but that access way is still sealed from the cave side. All sorts of crazy stuff in this. You're going to end up going at the very end back to the plane of sepulcher. Look, there you go, a Medusa. Just easy stuff. And like I said, there's a ton of NPCs here. Voyage of the Krill. See, it had a Spelljammer feel to it too, which is pre-Spelljammer as well. It's a neat thing. It was a really well done, long series of adventures that would take you months to do. Thanks. I'll get that right to Josh at the end of this. So what I love about the old modules is often presents problems without clear solutions. Yeah, exactly. I agree 100%. Jay, do you ever discuss Dungeon Magazine? Yes. Yes, I do. Absolutely. We did one where it was, we did some Best of Dungeon and Dragon Magazine ones. Mostly dragons, but we're going to get to do a lot of Dungeons magazine ones, I promise to you in the future. Because we have our Wall of Fame has 4 that are published in Dungeon and Dragon Magazine now. Citadel by the Sea, Sword of Justice, and the Twofold Talisman Parts 1 and 2. They're the 4 that are considered Wall of Fame for us for that. All right, let me go to the end here, and my gosh, more fighting. I mean, look at this, 9th level spells here. Yeah, and psionic powers. That is Doc. Doc is like an anti-hero. As you can see, Doc's Island you had to go to in the R series. So look at this, level 20, 25 Clark Magic user. Doc may be helping you or not. Lawful evil, but Doc has, yeah. So you're really having a lot of high. That's why it says levels 5 to 9, and I don't think that's high enough. So here you go. The evil elemental rulers: Imix, Ogremok, Olydra, Yan Sebin. Yep. Yes. And there's a prismatic neutralizer. That can there's a prismatic sphere around them. It's just a mess because it's like you have all the elemental princes and you have Doc, and you're like you feel like we're just pawns in this. So here is the catch at the end, and I'm sorry if this is a spoiler alert. End of the world. Start counting spell levels. Each time 10 spell levels or any 7th level or greater spells cast, the world of Sepulcher shudders. This is the demi-plane. It was not meant to sustain this type of magic use. Its fabric, already weakened by the earlier presence of the Firebird, begins to weaken. The first time it shudders, there's a 5% chance the world disintegrates with you on it. So we had it that they got right at the end of the fight, and I forget who cast it. Someone cast a spell. It was right around 50% at that time, and it started just dissolving, disintegrating.
Sounds like a Bond movie.
It doesn't it? It does.
Yeah.
If you make your save, you are blown into the ethereal plane, and then you need to find your way back. Okay? Which over time, I had it that those characters did. If you fail your save, those who fail or to the empty, are killed instantly, blown in our plane, or polymorphed into living undead, or turn up and say the North Ending. So, of course, I had it killed. We had an NPC, 2 PCs gone after all this, didn't survive because the plane dissolved and they didn't escape the plane. That's one of the reasons why it was momentous. What an ending. Yep. So the elemental rulers' physical bodies are destroyed and the spirits are banished to their respective planes. There you go. Wish you had one. Mike, I thought I sent you one. Well, guess what, Mike? When you're here, I'll give you one. I'll hand it right to you. How's that sound? How do you set up this going to for Greyhawk players? Simple. There's a town of Heidel, right? And there's a town of, all you need to do is replace 2 towns. Heidel, right? And and north ending. That's it. And let me show you the map. All right, here it is. So this is, what's the scale on this? One hex is 10 miles. So
Okay.
this, you could put this almost anywhere.
Do we know who did that map? Because it looks suspiciously like Darlene. Dave and Diane. Okay.
So it's Dave Sutherland, right?
Okay, yeah, because the look at the mountains and the hills, they look very Darlene-esque. But 86, that means that the Greyhawk map is out. So
definitely.
That's probably the inspiration.
So what I would do is find a little niche in the world that no one uses and put it there. And so here's my little niche, and I'm going to talk about another adventure that's not in a Wall of Fame that I have placed here as well. This one I didn't even put. This is before Anna was around. Hey, can you edit the map for me, Anna? You know, so this is we don't have that capability. Where do I? That's not far, and I apologize to any of you who use this area. Where do I not give a shit about? Where is
the
nearby?
whole eastern of the map, but you don't. You need to have it in a place where you want to go too. So
exactly, it's not too far away.
Yep.
And that my answer. Sorry, everyone. Eric Boy put Clark's Realm a tang in the room.
So now you know what backwaters Jay think is a backwater.
Is the Grand March.
Okay, not that far.
The wonderful, wonderful Grand March. So this is the options you have. Up here, in this area here, is probably where the Whispering Woods, up in this area. There's no towns up here. There's a hill. Look, right in this little crevice right here. Look at that. It's perfect. Right there.
But
done.
I think there is a town there on my
is there
nowadays.
Whispering Woods?
So. Hang on a second.
Trommel's backyard. Yeah.
Grand March. No, no, it's not.
Yeah. So there you go.
Yep.
So I had this problem before, just recently. The West is the best.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, Josh. So that's where I put it. Okay. Now, where is something else placed in the Grand March that I'm like, that's not published from a Greyhawk resource? This you can get cheap still. This is, and if Dale's on, he'll love that we're talking about this. This is Trouble at Durbanford. It's hardback. 3rd edition, Sword and Sorcery, Necromancer Games, which you know I love. This is we ran this before we went live streaming, so 5-6 years ago. It wasn't that long ago that we ran Trouble at Durbanford. And it took us almost an entire year to run this. Great, the greatest named adventure group ever, the Omega Patrol, ran this one. Yeah, that was fun and it was long. Yes, Bill remembers this. There's a ton of side plots in this. This picture, by the way, is almost at the very end of the adventure. That's how deep into it is. A lot of great things are in here. There's some. They have these special assassins after you. There's this drug called Higdine that everyone's getting attached to, and one of our player characters even got attached. Got Walt's character Kananga. Yeah, and it actually changed his alignment because he was good and he just couldn't deal with it after that because he was addicted to this drug. I mean, there's some really cool things in here, and this is another one I placed. I placed in Grand March. So I don't want to sound like a jerk, but Grand March is my dumping ground for where do I put stuff that's not too far away, but it's close, but so there you go on that. So
it's kind of funny.
Yeah. I think my guess is you can get this for under $25 now still on eBay, or I know you can get it on drive-through, so, but it didn't have a lot of popularity to it. And I always, when I was at a gaming store, I'm like, you know what? It was like, I got one for half price. I got this for like $7 once. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is really good. Who wrote this anyway? Let me see. Watch, it's going to be some big name. I never even looked at it. Well, Bill Webb developed it, so that's good news, right?
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's Robert Schwab. That's a decent name too. Produced Clark Peterson. Yeah, so there's some names in here. Yep. So. Yep. So I ran that one and put that as well in the Grand March. And it's just another thing I wanted to share with you all is that, another place, and I sound callous saying dumping ground, but look, so I actually said, Anna, I need Durbanford on the map here where we did it because it's relative to our campaign now. And Anna was kind enough to place it where I asked.
That's cool.
And there it is, and Durbanford's there.
Mhm.
And that was a couple of years ago, Anna placed it, but it was so long ago me running the Egg of the Phoenix, but I would recommend right in this area here. That's where I would put it. So just an idea, but you could put it almost in any niche. You could put it over here. You put it on the edge of the Lort Mills. You could flip it around and do whatever. So, here's the link to drive the good. Cool. Thanks, Lomas. Yeah, it's a good one. Diesel Shot. Good to see you. So, questions about this before I go on to a little bit of a touchy subject.
Okay.
Okay. So,
But
hopefully
Tim is not here, so you don't need to run
That's
into it this
awesome.
time.
Oh, that was awesome, Anna. Oh, that's so funny. All right.
I'm the only problem today. Yeah.
I want to share something.
Yes. Yeah. That was
Okay.
That was a
Let's talk about this.
hopeful but sad. Yeah.
Yeah.
It became sad. Yeah.
So we did. It was epic. We just sent out. Yeah, I'm glad to hear that. So this is drama. Frank Menser, 2017.
Yep.
Decides to take this and base an entire world around it.
Mm-hmm.
Good idea.
Yep.
Good
idea.
Number one, sets the pledge goal at $250,000 for some reason.
Yep.
I mean, that's insane. You're supposed to set the pledge goal low, and then whatever you get, bonus, and then kick.
Yeah, and we also have to remember that I don't think that maybe there have been one Kickstarter that RPG Kickstarter that reached 1 million, but
Right.
those were, and maybe, but the meaning now we get one a month or so that reached 1 million. That was not the case 2017 at all. 100,000 was still a lot of money in Kickstarters, RPG Kickstarters back then.
I mean, look what he says here: box, Darlene maps, 5 core books, 1 system book. He was going grand on this.
Yes,
he was going grand on this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, yeah, isn't that it's a lot of money? Yeah. So, and this is Frank Menser, and he thought big. 2.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to go over this, but Anna was there.
Yeah.
The comments here, 220, go over an incident what Frank had, right?
Well, you have to, yeah, there was a number of incidents that happened in the RPG community at the time, which was unfortunate that they coincided, so to speak. And also, Frank was dragged into one. I don't think he was the one that actually did a lot of wrong, but he did comments that was not suitable, and he kind of didn't realize that he should not have said those things, and it kind of, when you launch a Kickstarter, you're in a very vulnerable position, and that was something that it didn't turn out well.
No.
And so that was that was the sad part. So both me and Alyssa Faden were involved in it, so we said we had to cancel our
I did not know that you were involved in this. Okay.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I was involved in it, and I think Alyssa was involved in it too.
So was Darlene. That was, yeah.
Oh yeah, Darlene was involved in it too, but I don't know exactly how long but we said that we had to decline, but we were involved in it far enough that I have a bunch of cartography material made for this setting. So we were involved for, I think, better part of a year.
Thank you, Blue.
For this. So yeah.
Just note, I'm not trying to bash him. All I'm saying is this happened, and it's a shame. It would always be great to have another world setting.
Yep.
Maybe in a couple of years he reevaluates it or
hopefully we can get back to it, so to speak. In my opinion, there were a couple of personal issues and a bunch of bad business decision. That was kind of the combination, and a lot of bad luck into it too. Yeah.
So just note that we're not all perfect. We don't make the right decisions all the time.
Exactly.
And just that it was a shame that this happened. But, you know, I
must say that I wasn't treated bad in this project at all by any means. So I can't complain.
It sounds like Frank came from Philly. He's a Philly guy. Philadelphia, PA, 1978. Did not know that. So note, I just wanted to bring that up, that this was he tried to, and this was not that long ago, and that it wasn't
Yep.
successful. And I'll tell you, we're not going to set the Altimer box set Kickstarter at $250,000 anytime soon. I'm telling you
Nope.
that.
Yep.
So, but just note that is what happened there. So, okay, we're going to go digress for a second because we got over 100 people on. I want to go over something if you don't mind, and I want to talk about, and then we'll go. We got plenty of time. Then we'll go over to Tomb of the Lizard King, and that is, I got a new group of firsts coming up on Thursday. And that is, let me see if I even have this. Oh my gosh, Jay. So it's called the Welcome Initiates. They don't have a group. It's part of the Narwhal Headhunters. They're all first level characters. We have them coming. I want to show you. This is going to be a bad picture, everyone. Bill's on, but like I want to show this. Give me 1 second. Thank you. Really appreciate that. 1 second, because I told you I'd be all over the place tonight, but I got a reason for this. Okay, now I can't find the picture. It's probably under the adventure number. 1 second. So this is the group of Bill's been. So when we start a new group, now don't look at the background monsters. All right, look. I mean, the paint jobs are getting better and better every time. So look at that. That bounty hunter's an NPC. I cannot wait to play her. I mean, so these are some of the characters that you're going to see. This is some DM's advice. Fresh meat, exactly. I've gotten soft in my old age. I asked them, if you have ideas for characters, come to me and let's discuss them. So Bill says, I have a great article I found by Creighton Broadhurst. Okay, and that is this character right here, this one here, with a sword and spear, Anna. All right, so I'm like, okay, well, what are your thoughts? And he goes, well, this is made during the Living Greyhawk era. I'm like, oh, cool. Okay, that worked without Claret hashing. Champions of Vengeance. Hey, Bent. You're letting no Dragonborn. No. No, thank you, Sean. No Dragonborn at all. No, Troy. I know you're just jiving. So Creighton Broadhurst during the Living Greyhawk era was very. We got to get him on. He's he's in the UK. We haven't had a chance at it yet. Writes up this article for a prestige class. Now remember, Knights of the Holy Shielding are a prestige class in 3rd edition, and I back converted them to a 1st edition knight class. So we have 3 knight classes. We have the Knight of the Holy Shielding, we have Knights of the Heart as a class, and we have a Knight of Ulick class, actually. 3 of them. So Bill comes to me and goes, I think this Knight of the Chase, which they worship Tritharion, would be a good addition, especially with the Narwhal Headhunters, because Bladestorm is a priestess of Tritharion, and that is a hot spot in Narwhal for Tritharion worshippers. I'm like, great idea. So it is a really cool prestige class that Creighton wrote up. So with all the skills and abilities here, 3rd edition, mind you. Okay. No Dragonborn. I go, you guys are rough. All right. You get War Dogs. You get all these abilities here. So what do I have to do now? Notable Knights of the Chase, which is cool. They've actually noted some here that could be around. See, this is what drives me crazy about 3rd edition. There's something like Rogue, Fighter, Ranger, Knight. Oh my God. It's crazy how many classes. So what do? I can back convert it to 1st edition and create our 4th knight class, Knight of the Chase, with stats, alignments. There are no spears in Skyrim? That doesn't make sense. Really? So here's our rules on it. Weapons, initial spear broads are required. One of them, stat table, your special abilities that you get each level, all 1st edition backed. Yeah. And then your spell list. When you get spells, you get your wisdom bonus. You get access to my Tritharion specialty priest list, just like a knight does. done, back converted. So you'll start seeing this character on Thursday. Okay, there are no cars on. That's weird too. Nuts. So there you go. So simple. Done. A whole new subclass for Knight. Our fourth one created for this new group. I just wanted to share that there's no, whoever you listen to your players. They come up with ideas. Alan has a specialty priestess of Baranar, True Silver, and a female dwarf he's playing, and that is being fleshed out too. And I'll have that spell list done by tomorrow night. Because I'm always up against it. Thanks. Fion, the Tritherian specialty priest. Yes, Curtis, absolutely. So what happens is this is a whole knight class now, a whole sect of knights of the chase, that he's going to play one in Narwhal that wants to join the headhunters, wants to become, wants to do his part, but he's also a knight of the chase, so we'll have another calling. So, yep, and that ties in with the specialty priests of my, which I have 40 some of them, and they have access to their spell list too. They don't just get the cleric spells, so they get all the Tritherian spells. There you go. Just a first edition idea, but there's no reason you can't do this in 5th edition. Are there not, what are they called in 5th edition? Can you make them paladins with spell casting ability?
Sure.
Yeah. Okay.
Everything can have spell casting ability in 5th.
Okay.
At least a lot of it.
Yep. And look, see, I need to note this, and I completely see article Champions of Vengeance. I note Creighton on here. This is not an original idea of mine. This is taken, but I've expanded on it, but I give Creighton his credit due here. Eldritch Knight, there you go. Cavaliers can cast spells. Oh, Lurklon, that's painful. Yeah, that's one thing we never had Cavaliers cast spells. And they do. They can call on. They get a War Dog. They get a Hawk. At levels they can do stuff like that. And it's nothing crazy, but it's flavor. It's campaign flavor. So I just wanted to share that with everyone. And that's here. If you want the original article, it is to look at it. It's Dragon 297. Okay. Dragon 297, page 91. And it even says Living Greyhawk Journal, Knights of the Chase. Okay. What's the heraldry? See it right there? It's this heraldry right there. It's only like 3 prongs. If it was 4, it would be a problem.
Yeah. It's like the Rune of Pursuit.
It's a Rune of Pursuit. That's exactly what it is. It's a Rune of Pursuit. Good question, Gabriel. And there it is. So I'm going to ask Anna maybe to make this up.
Okay. But then we have to think about the symbol, because the Rune of Pursuit is Tritherian symbol. But I've seen...
What's the colors of it, though?
Yeah, but I've seen alternate versions of the Tritherian that I like better than the pure Rune of Pursuit, which means that we can tweak it and make versions of it. Yeah,
because we have the Order of Ulick, we have the Order, we all have the Knights of the Holy Shielding, we have the Order of the Heart. We already had that heraldry for a long time, but yeah, for this one, so just get the thought going here on that we can ask. One more thing. Let's see who did the artwork. Do we know who did the artwork on this? I gotta find it again. You have it in
Dragon there, so yeah.
Yeah. 79. I didn't go far enough. Here we go. Kalman? Klman? Is that who that is? Let me see if I can blow that up. Anyone know that?
No, I don't know who that is. Yeah.
Oh, that's too big. Looks like a Triskelion. Yeah, George, it does. So, yep. So I'm not sure who that is, but yeah, that's the original artwork with the hounds and stuff. But there's the Rune of Pursuit symbol that they're wearing. So, cool. All right. Just wanted to bring that up. I may talk about this again when John Birchfield comes on, when we're going to be doing, it's probably in 2 weeks, we're going to be doing home brewing within a published campaign setting, because we're just going to talk about Altamir and Aird and stuff. Kalman Androskovsky. There you go, Calstaff. Cool. That's probably him. Yep. Excellent. So very nicely. Good catch there. I did not know that. So, and there's, like I said, whatever edition you're playing, there's no reason you can't do this kind of stuff to flavor your Greyhawk. If you are not using, if you're playing 5th edition and you're not using William Henry Dvorak's Rangers and Paladins, you're missing out. He's done a whole bunch of them, and Warlocks, right? He did all those for 5th edition, so they exist if you're 5e DM for multiple deities, which is really cool, and locations for rangers. He's done a great job with that. So I can't shout out his Twitch channel anymore because he doesn't have it anymore. All right, so that's that. Let me pop up this. Like I said, any questions? Which issue? 297. Dragon 297. Yep. Okay. This one's a little more iconic to Greyhawk, this adventure.
Okay. Yep.
Yeah. Tomb of and it's also Living Greyhawk Journal 13. Thank you there, Cal Steph. Cool. Thank you very much. No problem. No problem. Just wanted to show out. I wanted to give you a little insight into what I do and what my players do with me, and we talk about it. And it takes months to start a new group because we're so freaking particular. I didn't use the word anal. We're so particular about it. We want a custom painted miniature for every character, and now we usually use Reapers, but like that Shadow Mage Bounty Hunter I have, which is just like Mandy's character, same class. Sabine is her name, with multiple hand crossbows. That's at Loot Studios. I mean, the customization is so cool. Yeah, William Henry Dvorak is awesome. So, yeah, William Henry Dvorak. Yes, he used to run Giant Stomp on Discord. It's all your fault. It's usually your fault. It's not mine, Bill. Only when my wife says it is. Okay. Let's take a little trip. Here's Altamira. Thank you there, Valmoku and Antiquitous Alex. Thank you both. A lot of you, if you're 5 years, know here's Saltmarsh, right? A lot of you, like Curtis, a hop, skip, and a jump, know what the Dun Mounds are. I'm going to be Casey. Here, it's only whatever on Carlos's site. Here's Horn Holes. There's where the Dun Mounds are, right? This is the area we're in. Okay. Carlos Lysing and me published. Saltmarsh is here. Let's go out into this area here. Okay. There's Baltron's Beacon. We already talked about Baltron's Beacon. Here we go. Tomb of Sakatha, Wakecombe, they're all right here. This is the, yes, those damn Dun Mounds. This is the area of Tomb of the Lizard King. Now, I think this is retconned here, correct, Anna? It's
yeah. It's one of the many adventures that
like Baltron's Beacon as well. Is placed.
Yeah.
We're both placed in this area, so yeah, it's a great adventure, absolutely. Tomb of the Lizard. So I'm going to recommend. This is levels 5 to 7. It's one of my favorites. This is really good. It's not super long. Oh my God, Chuck's is texting me again. So this is what I get from Chuck when he's stuck at a baby shower.
Okay.
A rainbow, yeah, a rainbow with a monkey, yeah. So there's all sorts of Night Below's nearby too. Absolutely, Night Below's retconned in this area. There's a lot. Also, though, this is canon. Washry is here. If you run Horror in the Holes, you'll know I take up on that too. This is Washry's home turf, the whole marshes. Okay, a lot of great stuff in this area. You keep on going south here, and you get down to where all the UK modules are, including the wonderful gargoyles here. So there's a lot going on in the Sea Princes area and the southern part of this is still Keeland. A lot of people don't even picture in their head that this is Keeland still. Okay, because of the Dreadwood separating it. But this is where we are for Tomb of the Lizard King.
Yeah.
All right. So I actually have because I used to do them on. I now do them on cardstock. and that, but I used to write them up every time. Some of the characters in this adventure: Eleanor Moonchild, Jonar Doombug, both the Bills. Vina is in this. That's Alan's. Marlena, Alan's. Gramercy Riff. Yes, you may know that from a movie. That's Walt's. He's a fighter, necromancer, dual class human. Branwyn, that's Tim's dad's ran on this too. He had a character in this. So, yep. They are second breakfast for Washry. That's so great. Absolutely. So, thank you. I'll shameless plug. I will shameless plug here if I still have it on here. I don't know where I put it though. It may not be in this section. I may have moved it. I think I shameless plug moved it because I didn't. I wanted to put other people on here. So, but Horror in the Holes is there's a link. There's a link on in the page too below to it as well. I don't think I have it in my show. Oh, I do have it. There you go. Okay. Thank you, Curtis, for saying that. That was very kind of you. All right, let's go to the adventure. What could be worse than another Lizard King? Anyone? It's a rhetorical question. What's worse than a Lizard King? Anna?
2 Lizard Kings, but that's too obvious.
How about
we still have the same idea?
So Wandering, you're so close. How about an undead vampiric Lizard King?
Oh,
how's that for an answer?
That is wow, yeah.
Yes. So Sakatha is not alive. Sorry, spoiler. Yes. Mark Akers, another. I think it's the only big adventure he ever did. Yeah, Lizard Queen. Yeah. This is Thrommel all day long. You know what? Exactly. I have to do a Thrommel emote now. I got to do
Oh yeah,
one.
you have to, exactly. That's the next one. You just have to. That's the
Yeah, absolutely. And Olicus is Black Dragon, which Anna put the lair in here too.
Yeah.
So Mike, is this in Fantasy Grounds Classic, Celestian? I would love to ask you that question. Bones! Good to see you. Whoops, that was I actually hit that, and that was a mishit. I was trying to shout out Bones, and I shouted out Wednesday night's Legends and Lore instead. Okay. It's in Fantasy Ground Unities. I too. Good to hear. Good to hear. And very that was very kind words you said, Bones, on Twitter today too. So of course you go to the Count of Eeyore in Keeland, and you got missions you got to do, and there's a lot of outdoor parts of this. I think there's an assassination attempt, if I recall correctly, right there when you're there, if I recall. You go to Wakehome, which is on the map, and then you're going to have there's a hermit you need to come across. You don't want to get him pissed off. You want to get him on your good side. Here's the Ballad of Sakatha, which is good. This is neat. And now he awaits in the cold sleep of death, his day of awakening, his first newborn breath. Interesting. Though deep in ground his followers closed him, he'll come back for vengeance on those who opposed him. I love to hear that, Bones. I love to hear that. And I think it's if you guys are up, it's you this week because you weren't on last week, correct? Just want to make sure. The lizard men are bad. The lizard men are kind of, in this, they are, if I recall, this is Barto Troom is one of the only guys left of a group that got slaughtered, if I recall correctly. Yep, brigands killed him. So there's a lot of outdoor parts of this adventure, and it's one of the reasons I was drawn to this. My style of play back when we ran this was very amenable to the table because of all the outdoor parts on this. Mm-hmm. So that was a neat thing. So I like that. Here we go. So this is the hopelessly insane old man is here, and here is there's a picture, and that is Olicus is here, and this is the layer of this is placed on Nana's map. This is an outdoor special encounter. This is not, this is like a random encounter almost here, which means you don't have to have them kill him, everyone. Plus, remember my rules. I double these right off the bat, so it's a 14 hit die. 100 hit point dragon with tail swipes and do more than 1 to 4 of damage. Everyone, I hate the way dragons of first edition were done. Yeah, exactly, Fraley. It's this guy right here. It's Stephen Demanis. They all think I'm crazy, so crazy I am, but still I'd be here when they. This sounds like a Dr. Seuss rhyme, right? Yeah. But they'll all be taken to Sakatha's lair, but me, I'll be free as a bird in the air. Yeah. I will bet we have about at least 20 people online who have run the DM'd this or played this one at least. This is how, this one's so iconic. And this is one of the few that didn't get the cover changed ever. You know how a lot of them, they had the old cover, they had a monochrome cover, or they did 2 different covers. This one never had the cover changed. It always was just that one cover, which was a neat thing about this one. So you run it several times, Fairly, because you like it so much. So if you all remember my friend Brian, Anna, he did a post thing with Sakatha where they were trying to bring Sakatha back, the cult, when he was doing when he started his 5e game. So,
okay.
Yep. What year did this come out? I'm going to say, my guess is mid-80s. Let me check this. 82. Early 80s.
Yeah.
Early 80s on this one.
Yep.
82.
Even older than 4 years before Egg of the Phoenix.
Yeah, absolutely. This is the glory eras of 81, 82, all the way up to 85. The glory era of first edition adventures coming out. Oh, yeah. I don't know Mark Akers. I don't know anything about him. Does anyone know? Did he do anything else?
No, I'd never heard of the name except this. Yeah.
This is right in the middle of that hardcore Gygaxian era. Absolutely. Let's see here. Oops. Oh, crap. Boy, that was almost I hit a button and it did not.
Okay.
Oh, I almost fell apart. I was like, oh shit.
Press.
Oh my god.
Wrong button.
I hit something. I was trying
to realize you should not have buttons like that.
Well, this Stream Deck saves me for shout outs. I mean, I could shout people out with I just got to pre-program it in. So, yep, Olycus, very old average black dragon. I'd power him up. I think that is way too low on his stats. Dragons need to be terrifying, not 49 hit points.
Yep.
So, yep. I think is that a Bodak bas relief? I forget. Oh, it's a secret door. Water weirds are in here. Water weirds are very nasty. Hey, Celtic, they're a nasty creature. They can kill you instantly. He did a couple Star Frontiers. Thank you, Calsteph. Good to know. That's great to know. Little quick story. So Carlos made us up 3 custom adventures, and one he has a well right smack dab in the middle of a hallway in a room, and go up to it. Tim's in the game. I think it was Walt's in the game. One of Walt's characters. Water Weird jumps up. He takes out a potion of sweet water, pours it in. Potion of sweet water instantly kills a Water Weird, and Carl's like, "You guys, I can't even kill you with a Water Weird." Yeah, Purify water spell kills it. So, and then so does a potion of sweet water. So, +4 defender longsword. It doesn't say what type of sword. You can make it anything is there. It's in the dragon's lair, which is nasty, which is cool. So, water. Yeah, okay, you got me. We need to do a what? Yes, everyone. Why does everyone make fun of my shitty South Jersey Philly accent? Because it is. So Anna, any analysis on this one up to the outdoor part of this?
I think we have to. One is interesting. It must be one of the earlier adventures that had a lot of extensive outdoors, because most of the early ones were just dungeons. Yeah, with just dungeons and had very, very minuscule, because you have to realize there are hardly any outdoor rules. We have to remember that that Wilderness Guide that came out of first edition AD&D was the first book that seriously tackled outdoor.
And it's not out yet here. Yep.
Exactly. Yeah, and that came like, what was it, 90? 90, 91, 92, something like that.
I thought it was is it 89, 88, 89?
Maybe late 80. Yeah. But that was the first book that seriously took on outdoors adventuring. Before then, dungeons were the norm.
The Pine Barrens definitely diesel would make the best early adventure zone with the Pineys. You have the Pineys chasing you around, the Jersey Devil in the Pine Barrens. So there you go. That area between civilization and the Cure, you have to get through is the Pine Barrens. Oh, that's a good. Cool one, that was funny.
Pine Barrens. That's awesome. Put in here, Pine Barrens.
Yeah. Yes, and the Jersey Devil. Oh my gosh, that's funny. Look at this map here. Okay, and now I want to show this. So look where Wacombe is, and Anna, you had to figure out how to make this work. So you kind of reversed it. Wacombe here, Newcombe here.
Kind of tweak it, and make it done with, because a lot of that terrain, the first way I encountered it was through much later products that were made 20, 30 years later, and then I had to retcon this back in. So
86. Yeah. Wilderness Survival Guides 86. So it's 4 years after this.
Yep. Thank you, Bill. Yep.
You haven't heard the word Pineys before? Oh, all right.
No,
so
never heard.
I know he's passed. There's a great Anthony Bourdain. He goes to the Knife and Fork in Atlantic City. He goes to what's the roast beef place in Camden, Bill? Oh my God, the great roast beef place in Camden near the hospital. He goes to, and then he goes to a breakfast place in the middle of the Pine Barrens with all these Pineys. Not Denix, no. Oh my gosh, it's gonna drive me crazy. But yeah, he goes. So it's a great South Jersey Anthony Bourdain episode where he hits those three. Yeah. Oh my gosh, it's the one with the the blue crusties on the bread. That's gonna drive me crazy. No. Donkeys. That's it. Donkeys. There's 2 Donkeys locations now, but the one he goes to Donkeys, which is awesome. So, but he goes to a piney restaurant just in the middle of nowhere out in the deep depths of South Jersey. You got to watch it; it's funny. So, so Anna took a lot of liberties here, and which is good. You have to.
Well,
you have to.
Yeah, that was a tough one that way.
Yeah, but that's okay, because there's no right or wrong with this with Greyhawk, and it's here now, and you got
it's kind of but it's.
No, it works. It works for this. Wacombe's here, and the Tomb of Sakaf is travelable.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, sometimes you have to kind of mess things up in direction to keep the distances and the kind of inertial. And there is like 10 times more stuff going on that is added later on. Because I'm pretty sure that a lot of the living Greyhawk stuff was added without too much thinking. Thoughts was going back to something that was published 25, 30 years earlier.
Yeah, so just note that Anna does her best, and sometimes it's not dead on, okay? But it doesn't have to be. It does not, and that's a great thing. Of course, anytime. All right. Here's Wacombe Village, and that's on the map. Here's the Great Southern Swamp. They call it, so it's not the whole marshes. This is retconned to this location. All right, and this is basically, there's Wacombe and there's the Sakaf's lair. This is the kind of map, though. It's like you think that they may have added something else to it, right? And it's like, it's just there's swamp everywhere, and there's just one spot in the middle, right? You know.
Yeah, but we have to acknowledge that this is made in the 80s. They had these they were probably like cookie cutter things, stencils, whatever they called. So graphics, meaning this is pre-desktop publishing almost, and it was
true.
Yeah, and an illustration that was tough, and there was also not that much to fall back on. Fantasy cartography was early days for it.
Okay, they come into the temple. Now things are going to get hairy.
Yeah.
This is going to qualify for ruins on our discussion on Wednesday night. This is definitely ruins.
Yeah.
Yep. Look, the temple ruins here, so I, probably bring that one up. And this is cool. So now something here I just noticed that Olycus's lair is supposedly here, but not at Sakatha's, but we have it a little ways off. I kind of like it not here. Like he has a lair, and he comes here sometimes. This is the black dragon. I prefer it separate because I don't want you killing him right off the bat. I don't. Dragon's got to survive, right? Dragon's got to
Oh
be
yeah.
have fear here, yeah. So there's a dragon here. And here it's waves of baddies here. You got lizard men, you got bad evil human brigands, all sorts of stuff. You're gonna fight trolls again. Trolls
Trolls.
trolls are always great because they're tough, especially in water areas. You need to bring acid. So yeah, his Dragon Lake house. Yeah, exactly, Tim. You got it, Enoch. Look, there's a Type 1 demon hanging out here. Jackalwares. Jackalwares are nasty. They're the reverse. Instead of a werewolf, jackalware. The jackals have become humans. They're nasty. And then as we go down, you got humans serving. Gormandel, yep, he's an 8th level priest, if I recall correctly. A whole bunch, but it gets worse. So when you get down into the lower levels, and here's a note you find. Past more riddles, which are cool. Past the doors you cannot find, down the steps you cannot climb, and across the river of nothingness you'll find your way. That's pretty cool. As it goes on, yeah. So and Gormandel's got a treasure room, always your sub treasure room. There's a lot of treasure in this adventure. Lots. More humans. Lots of humans serving Sakatha. You'd be thinking he'd be munching on them in his state. Maybe some. So, I'm trying to get down here. The tomb levels. This is where it gets really nasty. So this map is neat. So let me see here. Hard to get a good night's sleep in the holes. It is, exactly. So which deity? It's a cult. That's a good question. Sakatha's kind of like the figure in here, so I let the clerics just stay, or a death cult type like Nerol's fine. Evil version of Ouija is fine. Not a cult. So Burial Mound Lizard King slaves. You'll see this part of the map. 16 whites are going to come at you. That and there's a waterway, and if I recall correctly, there's a fake raft here, right? And I want to say that there's an acid vat too. I'll be able to see the acid vat hidden in the location shown on the map. Yeah, the river's really not there, and it's meant to slow you down. That's it, correct? It's meant to slow you down. Where the heck is the map? Is it the end, or did I go by it? Oh, it's half and half. Damn. So this river, these are acid vats. There's no water here, and there's no boat. So there's vats of acid here, and this is where you're going to cross. Yeah, and then these mounds all have whites in them. So it's a nasty trap. Before you get to Sakatha's like entombment pyramid. Yeah. Hey, Gargamont. Thank you. Hope you're doing well. We're talking Tomb of the Lizard King, probably one of your favorites. Good to see you. Living Keelan's connects this module as well as Baltram speaking. I believe the cult was the cult of the Lizard Man's god. Okay. What, Samonyaya? That deity? George, I don't think Arifnal fits. Arifnal's just slaughter. Wanton slaughter. I don't think it fits here for undead. Samanyaya is a neutral deity, though, Calstaff, isn't it correct? So, but, okay, that's cool. So, you go inside, once you get past that, you still have to get by all the guards inside of Sakatha's tomb area. Lots of lizardmen, hill giants. 4 hill giants are here for some reason. Guess they want to serve Sakatha too. Oh my gosh, I don't remember that. And then a high level cleric, 9th level cleric here with 2 assistants. Another reason, all right. What was a number 1 complaint, everyone, of first edition with spellcasters, particular clerics? What, if you remember that back that time, Anna? What give me a number 1 complaint? Clerics.
Or they can use edged weapons.
Right. That's true. But something else, they're boring because they have the same. Everyone takes the same 3 to 4 spells: hold person, flame strike, cure wounds, dispel magic, and that's
they didn't have any of the cool stuff that specialty priests that started with specialty priests and then moved on in the other.
As well, yes, Cathay as well. They can't move and cast, but not. Yeah, we're not going to get. Yeah, I know you're jabbing 5e at me there. That's fine. There was a possibly negotiating a peace with the Lizardman of the Holes. Well, Amy, so if you play hard in the holes, that's you're going to kind of do that with the Lizardmen, as well. So it's cool. Yeah. Did you hear about the racist vampire? That's funny, Hager. Yeah. So you do have that, and then this is one of the best pictures of a villain I've ever seen. Just love this.
Yeah, he looks cool.
I love this picture. Just really cool. Got a lot of decent treasure. There's a crystal ball here. There's a ring of wishes here. It's only got 1 wish, but still. Yeah, and he is somehow, not only is he vampiric, he is a wizard too. He is a lizard king that can cast spells that is a vampire. So I think that's worse than Thrommel of any type. So exactly, Jim Larson. I am Lizard King. I can do anything. Yeah, the art is wonderful. So when you get through all those waves, and there's no place you can't. Once you get down this lower area, there's no way you're going to be able to rest. There's just not at that point. And Cloud Kill is a nasty spell. Now a lot of people say, "Well, I'm a certain level. It's not going to do anything to me." And I talked to Luke about this last night a bit. A lot of people don't know in first edition, there's a supplemental rules effect in the Dungeon Master's Guide. We had this talk, and here I go off on a tangent. We had this talk last night about how awfully unbalanced the spell Heat Metal is in 5th edition. There's no save whatsoever.
Yeah.
None.
And it also affects really fast. I mean, a couple of rounds and you completely,
So if you go to the Dungeon Master's Guide, there's supplemental things that happen to spells for first edition Player's Handbook spells. One of the things that it says about Heat Metal is that if you are wearing magical armor or have a magical weapon in your hand, you get a saving throw. It's only no save in first edition with non-magical. So someone complained about it on a Twitter post, and I said, you're big boy, you're DM, do what they did in first edition. And it's like I had they come back to me like I have 3 heads or something. So just change it so you get a saving throw. It's not a big deal. I don't see why people just don't change effects on stuff, because it was a save back in first edition. It uses a magical hot plate, exactly. So here's my point. Cloud Kill, you go, oh, my character's high level. Cloud Kill still damages you, and I think it's die 10 per level if you are in the area effect of Cloud Kill, no matter what level you are. And it's in the supplemental section of the Dungeon Master's Guide. So you don't want to just stand in a Cloud Kill no matter what level you are. It's a lot of and there's no save. So just note that, okay? And that's probably why a lot of people go, I'm not worried about Cloud Kill. I'm higher level than it can affect me. But that's not the case. Just a note that stuff was all over the place in first edition. You need to know where to find things. Yep. Absolutely, Amy. So Yeah. So I just wanted to say that, and the artwork's fantastic too. Yes, yes. Everyone with the vampire jokes. So if you want to talk about a huge spell book for a wizard to get, this is one of the biggest ones I've ever seen with his spell book. So, and there you go, vampire. There you go. Snip this and use this to your heart's content. Vampiric Lizard Man appears in this adventure, which is really cool. Oh, when you use the crit miss table, when the fumble table, that's what I mean. Got to throw wrenches and curves at your players all the time. So, and we saw that last night. So, pre-generated player characters in here, all good. 5th, 6th, 7th level, no biggie. And the magic items they have, and there's the map. And I would suggest taking this adventure if you haven't run it yet. Number one, beefing up Olycus the dragon, maybe wounding the dragon, having the dragon get away so it's not killed off. Sakath is the main enemy in this. He's the one building the empire up in the western area of the whole marshes. Like I said, this is one of my favorites on my wall of fame, just because I think it's everything that I wanted in an old school adventure. Thanks, Casey. It's not super long, but it's long enough. Has outdoor adventuring, underground adventuring, just as you saw last night. I did both, right, in my one shot. It has a new monster, Vampiric Lizard King, right? Lizard Man, Lizard King. Has some cool magic items in it, and it's a challenge. And that's what else can you ask for? I hated critical miss tables. My first thing to do was great. Well, 3 decks, that would be awful, wouldn't it? Yeah. So, Anna, thoughts on this one?
I think it's a it's an interesting area that needs a little bit of TLC. So I think they placed it well, so to speak, even if because it thematically kind of fits the area, and it's an addition to Greyhawk. It's a bit like the Tower of Inverness and a couple of others that have been shoehorned in afterwards. White Plume Mountain is a good example of something that was not set originally in Greyhawk, but after some tweaking and shoehorning and whatever, it fits really well, and it became part of Greyhawk lore.
Yeah, definitely. But they were placed like, we know where White Plume Mountain is on the map because Darlene put it on the map, right?
Yeah,
that was placed. The others, though, Ghost Tower of Inverness, I don't believe was on the map at all.
No, it's not. It's shoehorning after. It was one of these convention adventures that was run on a convention only, and then afterwards they say, well, if you want to run it in Greyhawk, then place it here. But I think that was in a dragon or somewhere afterwards they told it where it could be placed.
And what's cool about this, Baltram's Beacon as well, and I've gone back to it a couple times, and I'll continue. They are both here. They're both in this area, the wonderful area of the whole marshes. And if you count the Salt Marsh series of adventures, Tower of Xenopus is here too. That's that's right there.
Yeah, and that was late. That came the first one. I'm sure of it's that it's in the 5e Salt Marsh book, but it might have been earlier too. I mentioned earlier, but that's where I know we got a map and I placed it.
Casey's doing something in Seaton, right, Casey? You got something going on in Seaton now?
Yeah, he's working on Seaton as far as I know.
Which is cool. So we got there's a lot of ruins in here. And guess what? So we're going to have a ruins discussion on Wednesday night with Mike, Ann, and me, and I'll be bringing up both those. So, yes, this is a cool area of Greyhawk. Like I said, the Heart in the Hole is my adventures right here, too. So we got a lot going on. So went over these two, and I'm going to go over another one that's not on the Wall of Fame, but was close, because I'm going to say, here's another adventure that is outside of the realm of Greyhawk. I know a lot of you have run it, and I think, I don't remember where I placed this one, but I'm thinking once again, I placed it like in the Grand March area on the northeast corner. It was before that era. It was 15, 20 years ago. Beyond the Crystal Caves, no. This is a third-party one. Here we go. The Tomb of Abathor. Okay. So, yes. Our adventuring group that's called the Reborn did this. Now, the one problem with these Necromancer game adventures. Oh yeah, this is Sword and Sorcery. This is 3rd edition era. This is one of the best ones from Necromancer games. Look who did it. Bill Webb again.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So, big name. Clark Peterson and Bill Webb. This is a mega adventure. I know Ashur has done this, and I know Mike Saxton's done this. I think Greg Illustrian has done this as well. It's a really good adventure. The one drawback is back in the day, they had a ton of extra downloadable content, which I don't know if is active or not, in there with all sorts of cool addendums to it. I'm not sure if that you can still get that, but I have the Josh. You on still? It's just funny irony coming. I don't know if Josh Pop's still on, if he's lurking. All right, he's still on, but he's probably lurking. So I gave him a character sheet for his what he's doing, a pre-gen, which is one of these characters was in this adventure. So in this adventure, Emerson Winchester IV was in this. I had Viersa. Anna Viersa was in this adventure. Do you know who she was? She was a dark elf.
Oh,
dominatrix thief. She was my playtest dominatrix character.
Okay. I think you mentioned the names sometime earlier, but okay.
Justinius, I ran it.
How far? Not without going to.
How far did she get up in levels?
No, I was thinking how far. How many? How far you've gone with that class? Was
just her, and that was it. Because she did not last long.
It was a dead end. Yeah.
Yeah, I used a picture of the dark elf from Baldur's Gate 2, if you remember. Yeah, Justinius. I ran this all 1st edition, and it's the 3rd edition is easy to back convert. Super, super easy to do. Same thing with Durmford. It's simple. 3rd edition rules, 1st edition feel. It's simple to do. No worries on this. Yeah, that's right, Calstep. Ghost Tower was not, and then it was placed. Tomb of Abathor can get acquired in Sword and Wizardry, which is in 1st edition. That is great to know, Michael. Thank you. Did you run this, Michael? Let me know if you did. Some other characters in this. Bill had, I know one you had was your priest, Sunhild, and Aelwyn. Aelwyn is the head of the First York Pathfinders now. So, and he's a ranger. Sunhild is a specialty priest of Palor. She got the, what's the name of your mace again? It's in his adventure, Bill. That you got. Bill, the other Bill had Thrain, Granite Fist, and Silas. There were a lot of Dark Elves in this adventure. Marco had Ilithiri and Melzar. Unfortunately, he's not playing right now. Alan had Angus McCracken, who's the guy who died with you, Anna, in the fundraiser. Angus, remember? Mm-hmm. Yeah, he got killed, and Pat Smith, bounty hunter mage. So the Star of Terror's in this. Yeah, thank you. So I would take this. Look, this is probably. Oh, you haven't run it? Well, it's good. It's in Swords and Wizardry. They converted it to 1st edition. You're talking. I just wanted to share another one with you. This is 90-some pages. It's got some great monsters in here. This is all about fighting presence of Sagatha, which is the Frog God Games Major, the big frog demon god. Okay. Well, not only does Sagatha and minions of Sagatha appear in this, but Orcus makes a little appearance as well. So that should give you a little tidbit of what this is all about. So multiple levers, and there's the Tathar, T-S-A-T-H-A-R, which are servants. Or almost look like, I could just show you through that, but they almost look like one right. Thanks, Slod, but they're like prime material. It's fun. I know I ran it, so I'm recommending it. It's close to the Wall of Fame. It didn't make the top 20, for adventures, but it's a good one. It'll take you a few months to run it, multiple levels, and just something that like here, level 5, the great temple and the great cavern and temple of the frog sounds really bad. So some neat things. Just another suggestion of an adventure. And the reason I bring that up is because since we're going to do 2 giveaways tonight, the second one will be a reprint of this. All right, with one of these 3: Needle, Beyond the Crystal Cave, which got mentioned, and Lens L1. Okay, that'll be the second one. The first one winner will get Egg of the Phoenix. We'll get Egg of the Phoenix and Tomb of the Lizard King in reprints. Okay, so got some good giveaways tonight. All right, what's up, Tina? So let me go back to the main screen here. Yeah. Oh, it's in Stoneheart Valley, Part 3. Wow. Okay, I have that. I think I have that. I got Tegel Manor. I got a whole bunch of stuff I haven't gotten. I mean, I got so much. Look, I got it. I bought this once. Sword and Wizardry box set, still sealed. So, yeah, I think I have it down here. It's at the bottom of a pile, Stoneheart Valley, but it's good to know that. So, okay. So we got a ton of people on. Thank you. Any questions from the audience on we went over 4. I'm not going to go into detail on Abyssor. It's a dungeon crawl, right? It feels like Temple a little bit. Where you got to go. You definitely have to make expeditions in and out on it. It's very long. Well before we did that. Well before we were streaming, unfortunately. So I can't really share that with everyone on a live stream. A lot of this stuff is so long in the past for us. Smodro can. No, that one was 3rd edition. That was a 3rd edition adventure, Abyssor. But it's but you can get the Sword of Wizardry Stoneheart Valley one. It's all S&W, which is old school there. And let me tell you something. I just got them 3rd, and I always back converted everything. It's not that hard. Not that hard at all to do. Back converting is easy for me. Absolutely. Yeah, Pathfinder 1E works absolutely. For 3.5 and 3.0 stuff, definitely. No problem. If you're playing that, it's perfect. So, and system-wise, you kind of Amy mentioned to me you tweaked you're not doing 5e right now.
No, I've actually I'm tweaking onwards, so to speak. I've used I went from started using advanced 5e or a level up from Ian World. And it's basically a fork of 5e, and then I'm tweaking that in turn, so to speak. I'm getting rid of classes, and I'm therefore tweaking the magic system to work with classless. But I'm not changing the mechanics. Fighting is at the same time, armor class to hit, and all the math in the game is still the same. Advantage, disadvantage, it's all 5e. Yeah, all the conditions and stuff is 5e too.
Yeah, so that's good to hear. That's awesome. And it's a work in progress, just like anything from a DM. You find your way.
Oh yeah, exactly. Yeah. So it's the way I want to do it. So I keep the playability, the simplicity, the math scales real well in 5e. So I really like that. It's just that I don't want to have cookie cutter characters. I want characters to evolve in directions that the player wants, and not like, oh, now I'm starting a 1st level character, and when I'm level 20, the character should be like this. No, the character can evolve both along the wishes of the player, but also along the story of the campaign. So the characters will pick up skills and stuff like that as the campaign progresses too.
So to your question there, BB, we did a Gabbin call. That is not in Greyhawk, where I went over all this 3rd-party adventures way back. It's got to be on YouTube still, because every Gabbin, except for the one that's missing, is on YouTube. Yeah, so you can find it. there. That's specifically where it is. So, Anna, what do you think? You think that you'll continue to evolve and tweak and?
Yeah, to some degree. I think right now will be a big tweak. Then I want to play for a few years without doing any major
Right.
tweaks, so to speak. So I want to settle this and then play through a couple of years with maybe minor adjustments, tiny ones, and then I'll make an evaluation and see, so to speak. But I think that on the basics is good. I'm starting to tweak. I've had to tweak the magic system a little bit, not so much from the caster perspective, but since there's no classes, there's no class lists, so to speak. So I had to figure out how to integrate it. And then there's a little bit of things under the hood. There's like, I have spell classes, but they are arcane. I stole the idea from 4th edition. There's arcane, divine, and primal magic, just like in 4th edition.
Okay.
And then they're based on arcane, arcana, religion, and nature skill, and that can evolve into. And then spells have a strain. That means what kind of energy they're using, where they draw their power, and also the arcane, divine, and primal. That's how you, as a character, where you get your powers, magic powers from, so to speak. So arcana, that means you get it from talent and study. And divine, meaning you get them from some other creature or power of some sort, gives you, whether you're part of a religion, you worship a demon, or have a pact with a powerful dragon or whatever. Someone gives you the power. Primal, then you're attuned to nature, and you get the from there. And then these have different, just like regular. So it's not that much different. You can still play a druid or a ranger or a wizard or a sorcerer. It's just that you will not be choosing your final path when you're first level. You can still pick and choose, but all the same spells will be there, all the same features and abilities will be there. It's just that it's cool. It's more like a Lego set. You can pick the ones you want, so to speak. Yeah.
Pick and choose. That's really cool.
Yeah, and people who want to have 5e with a few more bells and whistles, you should look into advanced 5e from Eon World Level Up. It's an interesting, and they also have it comes in paperback, it comes in hardback, PDF, and the rules are also on a website, so you can access the rules, which is kind of cool if you want to house rule them, because then you can. I got the PDF and PDFs, and I get to the website, I read through the PDFs, and then I copy the rules from the website, and I start tweaking them and playing with them a little bit. But all the how the mechanics works and all the math in the game, I want to keep that the same, because I really like how 5e plays well and scales well.
So, and what Anna's saying, take, just like I do for old school.
Yep.
You got, like, all right. Mandy's playing a Shadow Mage Bounty Hunter, 2 classes that I created myself. There's all sorts of things you can do. There's all sorts of changes you can make. Just as if it's as simple as making the stupid heat metal spell have a saving throw.
Yeah,
there's nothing wrong with that in your game. And if your players are arguing that point with you, you gotta lay the law down. Now there may be some instances where you want to negotiate, you want to talk about things, but there's certain things that if you don't like them, just change them.
Yeah, and I think you should have a rule system that suits your style of play and the type of campaign you want to have.
Absolutely.
I think that's key, so to speak. I mean, there is no right rule system for everybody.
There isn't.
It's simply what kind of, how you play your game and what you emphasize on, and your play style and the goals with the campaign, so to speak. That I think should, and to some degree also both the players and the DM have to accept the rule system, so to speak.
Yeah, and
meaning, do you want to be super tactical and you want to play with miniature, very kind of simulistic combat with lots of gritty details and whatever, then something 3rd edition or something might be a good thing. If you want to be very skirmishy tactical, but then 4th edition might even be right for you, or you want to be old school simplistic combat to some degree, but still gritty and stuff, then old school might be for you. If you want to have something that plays fast, streamlined, and 5th edition, and I want to be little bit of 5th edition, a little bit 3rd edition in my kind of stuff, so to speak. Yeah.
Absolutely. Note that for me, I constantly play test as we go.
Yep.
So And I'll give you an example. All those new undeads I did on Thursday night, well, that was the play test for the last 2
Yeah.
Thursdays.
Mhm.
That's it. I'm play testing on my players because
Yep.
I think I've been playing and DMing long enough that I know how balance works, right? Maybe sometime a little bit over. I'll tell you one that I got a lot of flack for from my players, from one in particular. Bill, of course, it's his fault. Paints a miniature up with a big hulking, like almost zombie-like creature carrying a coffin. It's a Reaper miniature, right? So I created an undead called the Coffin Thrower. Okay, he's got this coffin and comes in the room and he throws a coffin at Alan's character and does like crazy amount of damage. And I'm thinking to myself, this is going to do a lot of damage. He's like, well, but he's like, that's overpowered. That's overpowered. Well, okay. So that was my play test of the coffin thrower
Yeah.
monster.
Mhm.
But
Yep.
just, hey, why not try things?
Yeah, and also one other aspect, for instance, if you have a lot of RP, a lot of role play and stuff, you should have more rules that kind of make that interesting, so to speak.
Yeah.
You can have more for social interaction and stuff like that. You might want to have, or you might simply say, no, it's just I want that to be more like a cool discussion club, improv, seat of my pants. I don't want any rules to govern it. Then don't have it. So yeah.
And don't feel bad about doing that, making changes and experimenting.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people are. I don't. This, and I think it's not a bad thing with all the influx of people in 5e. They just don't know any better. They don't know. Wow, I can take this and I can really make some major changes to it. That is making major changes to it is different than ignoring all the rules.
Yeah.
Okay, it's a big difference.
Yeah. And we also learn, meaning the way I play have evolved over time, because I was an idiot when I started playing. I didn't know any better. And back then there was also no one else to ask. So we had to figure it out. But I think all of us evolve as gamers, both as players, as DMs. So we have different, and as we get older, we want to emphasize on different things. Meaning when I was in my 30s, I wanted the most detailed rule set ever. Now I don't want the most detailed rule set, but I still want some of the details.
Hopefully you guys can still hear us. Hager says his sound went out.
Uh-oh.
Oh, maybe it was, yeah. I think everyone else can hear us still.
Okay.
I'm hopeful.
Yep. Yeah. And murder hobos is one of these things that we should maybe devote a whole
awesome.
DM's roundtable to murder hobos, because it's kind of murder hoboing is, in my opinion, is as much of an asset as it's a drawback, because it's a big driver of the game, but it should not take over the game. But it's one of these two instincts in players that you can use and abuse as a DM, and I think you should use and abuse players' instinct to go to murder hoboing, because it's both fun and it's driving the games, but it also can derail things very quickly. Yeah.
Here's an example. Mark Meir plays with Anna and Ed a couple weeks ago, if everyone remember that adventure. And does everyone remember that it was loaded with stuff? There was a necromancer at the end. There was loaded with stuff that a illusionist thief with all this enhancement to hiding and stuff, he could not backstab, like non-corporal undead, right? So it's okay to see what your characters are trying to maximize their character against, but throw in some things that make it a challenge. And I like to do that a lot. And here's another example. Yesterday, there was some things that Mandy's bounty hunter can damage and backstabs and the thief, but they're not like they weren't stuff like that they were going to outright kill in one shot. Backstabbing in a freet is really difficult, and she found that out. But there's the capability of doing it. So and plus magical weapons to hit. There's all sorts of things you can do. And I'm not saying you're fighting your players. You're making it a challenge. If your character can sneak up behind, for example, and just waylay someone and kill them one round, they don't know about it every time. It's no fun. That's just an example. It's an example. Also, most major antitheses are not stupid. I mean, Anna sets up unbelievable defenses. I've seen the underground settings where it's like a
Oh
kill
yeah,
zone.
yeah.
You know.
Yep.
Yep.
So you
Challenges.
have to be, and it also depends on the enemies, meaning the intelligence and the wisdom of the enemy. Meaning, dumb skeletons will not put up a fight at all, or they will just stumble straight in. We had that fight today in my session today. Zombies and skeletons were the main enemy that they fought, and they were just dumb lumbering straight in, getting slaughtered. Kind of, they have no intelligence. But if you come on the top orc warband that survived 5 years of war, you're not going to fool them easily.
Exactly. So, a good point here from St. Cuthbert. He says, I'm saying this in my style here. It seems like playing original rule sets is getting more difficult than making changes. So, the answer to that is not necessarily, depending on your situation. I've been playing with my guys for 40 years.
Yeah.
If I have to evolve. That's what we've done with the different. But if you're going to a con, a lot of people want that pure old school play. Now, and Curtis is one who played in my hools at Gary Con, and I think Curtis was happy that it was in my play style. But that doesn't mean that Paul Stormberg's group are not going to have a ton of games that are pure 1E, pure OD&D, you know, and you're going to get them there. But in a campaign setting, with you're going to evolve to what your players want. Hopefully, that's the key. That's just my opinion.
Yeah. But now we also have some technical changes, meaning today it's fairly easy to put together your own tweak to a rule system and then share it with your players. That was way more difficult decades ago.
Yeah.
And now there's a bunch of tools you can do it, so to speak, and you can share it. And I think that's also important to down the line. If you house rule a lot, you need to give your players access to the rules so they can see the rules. But right now I'm in that dumbest situation because we're halfway through the conversion, so things are kind of very it's
true.
It's kind of tricky. Yeah.
Running Rock is that's on the same playing field. That's true too. Yep.
So it is hard, but like you said, when you go to conventions and stuff, then it becomes much more like, okay, then you can't demand that people that just sign up. I will have that issue when we run our session on virtual GaryCon and players. So I have to kind of we might have a get together before when I explain the twerks. And when we have like a session 0, at least with the new players, where I explain and we go through the character sheets and the few little quirks. There are not that many in running the games. Most of my quirks is in character creation and level up. That's where the decision making there is kind of not standard 5e much, but when it comes to combat and how things are executed during the game, it's pretty much 5e. No big difference at all.
And there's no mistake. No one's perfect, right? So we've all made mistakes and like
constantly.
Yeah. Jimmy, what's up, Duff? 30 months, man. Where'd the time go?
Awesome.
So here's a funny story, little side story. Why can't I move that? There you go. We finished up the adventure last night. Yeah, this is where I'm going. We finished up the adventure last night. Luke stays on with 3 or 4 of us and just Zoom chat. Myself and Darling and April Hill, Luke, and I think Bones was on there a bit. And Mandy, and we're sitting there talking just about all this stuff, and age and all that stuff. And it turns out that I graduated high school before any of the women that play in my Slav game even were born, any of them, which freaked me out. Okay, all right. Secondly, we're about to get off, and off the side, Luke's in the Zoom. Remember, he has COVID. He goes, 1 second, Butra wants to talk to everyone. So his wife comes on, Butra, and says,
she's awesome.
This was a really, the beta, that's fine. This was a really great game last night. So it's great to see all these women taking charge. I know there were 2 old white guys playing the game still, but the women were wonderful. And Luke and I just start laughing when, because she's busting on Luke and myself being the old guys and that. It was just, it was just a funny old guy, old school moment. But
Mhm.
Luke was very complimentary to them all, saying it was really great to see all of you playing an old school game and really enjoying it. So just note, once again, the old guy thing got to me last night, Jimmy. But hey, it was a great. It was some nice compliments after that game last night, and it was a monster. And yeah, the old school thing, I wear it as a badge. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely a star play. It was a great one. So all in good fun, definitely. So it's good to have someone bringing people in that is so. Yeah, thanks. And I got see that's the thing. That's why I don't look like I'm an old man because I don't dye my hair and I still have it all. So oh well hey, Anna's slightly older than me too. It's
I'm 4
okay.
years older. Yeah.
Yeah, it's okay.
Yep.
But Luke's only 51, and I was like, oh my god, man, I'd do anything to
Yeah.
give those 4 years back. So, but the point is that do as a DM take your game, take some risks. There's always the DM. You're all powerful. There's ways of undoing things if you screw up. It's not a
Yeah,
big deal.
and it's not even meaning even when you DM for thousands of sessions, or at least in my case at least way more than 1,000, probably somewhere closer to 2,000 over 40 years. And it's not that you do less mistakes, it's more like you get skilled at smoothing them over. I think that's part of it. You can wing things even if you haven't, like you're missing
Great
something,
point.
and you kind of screw it up. You can, once you know, you can kind of wing it. Oh, I don't have that perfect stat block. You can just make up some numbers, and you get good at, you know what to jot down, so you can remember to use the same armor class and stuff like that. So you can kind of come up with things. It doesn't have to be perfectly. It's the nitty-gritty details that don't need to mechanics. You can kind of come up with them a little bit. So yeah.
So in closing on this one, and we'll do some shout outs here. Just note here's Chuck again. All right. So in closing, hopefully get some information from these two adventures, and also Durbanford and Abbasthor. They're both very good. Note, I'm not going to recommend something that sucks to you. Note that Egg of the Phoenix is momentous and gargantuan and will take a long time. But I think there's genius in it with the back in time and going on another plane, and I think it's really it's a different experience that you can get by doing it. So, have at it. And like I said, there's remote places in Greyhawk you can place those kind of things. Look what they did with the UK. They gave all the UK ones, here's a corner so far away in the bottom of the shield land, bottom of the Sea Princess. Just take it, right? So, Scottish Jeff, I gave your email to Josh, who will get you your what he needs, what you need for your winnings from last night. So, all right. So TOA, that mod is my. See, yeah, absolutely. We talked about that a little bit, Dale. I don't think you're on yet, but we're giving away a copy of this. It's great. It's a great adventure. Absolutely. So, all right. So we'll do some shout outs and we'll do the giveaways, and we're going to raid into Bones tonight. So Anna, what's up?
Well, we have next week. We have a fantasy mapping show, and we haven't nailed down the topic yet. We have an idea,
that's the wrong one.
Oh, it's okay. Yeah.
There we go.
So there we have. We've talked about and been asked a lot to go from workspace to workflow. So we realized that we should probably have this one. We haven't ruled out against completely yet, so we'll see. But this one is what we're working on, so to speak. So we will talk a little bit about our equipment, our workplaces, and then more workflow and stuff. So because we had, when we talked about our map and the end result, but this is more like, how do you get there, so to speak. That's the
right.
And people have asked me and asked Alyssa and me to, like, what the heck do it look like and stuff. So I'll take some more pictures and we can kind of present some of the equipment and pluses and minuses and stuff.
I can just sit back and enjoy on this one and just produce and not talk as much.
Yep. And also to my patrons, I just dumped 300 pieces of heraldry that combined all the oh, thank you. Exactly. Thank you, George. That was I dumped that part. There
Oh,
will be
wow.
more heraldry coming, but that was kind of a collection of all the new updated heraldry that we had in it's 3 gigabyte of heraldry.
Wow.
Yep. About
I need to
300
download it.
shields. Yep, that my patrons can download. That will be available for everybody in a couple of weeks. And then so this upcoming week, there will be hopefully the final version. There might a couple of little nagging issues, but I'll tweak them. And then the 2022 edition of the 598 map will be out the door and be done with that project. And and then of course there is the ramping up and getting ready for virtual Greyhawk Con, since I will both have a presentation and a game. And I'm so glad and thank you so much for my players who wanted us to do that as a group. So that will be fun. So we will invite 3 players to come in and play with us for there.
Sunday morning, everyone.
Yeah, Sunday morning. Yep. And we will also probably have at least one session streamed before then on one of our regular games, just to get the technical kinks out. We might do I might do a test stream or 2 with 1 or 2 players, and we just make sure that the windows are in the right place and stuff like that. So that might come too. And then I have some. There will be some more write up of Oldit, and that was what John Birchfield from Blue Box, he asked for that too, and that is coming, and more of that. More heraldry is coming too, and Altamira is working on, and I have now 1,500 square miles of my Shieldlands terrain almost locked down, so to speak, at 5 feet per pixel. So and that was something I wanted to do that bit, so I knew what I was doing, because I didn't want Altamira map to be the first one and then run into some issues into it 80% into the process. Yeah, so that's why I wanted to run through the workflow at least once on my Shieldlands map, and now I know I can actually integrate the different parts and stuff that works. So that means that now I can dig in harder, and we also finalized what the actual city terrain will look like at the city, so to speak. So we have that bit now. So now I'm just going to triple check the size and get the Jay to sign off on the actual size. So I'm going to do 1 render full resolution, and we go to count the 5-foot squares and decide if that city is big enough, too big, or too small. And then Jay get to say, well, we have, that's the size, it's okay, or we need to make it smaller and bigger. And then once that is done, then we nail down that that's what the terrain will look like.
And we start building the city and the inside of the city itself. Yep. Thanks, George.
And when Jay starts thinking about all the points of interest, I will start sketching out and or start texturing and splat mapping, texturing, and so on, the whole surrounding terrain in the meantime. That will be another 6 weeks or something like that, or working on that. And then we will have all the textures, and then I'll take all the points of interest buildings and stuff that Jay have sketched and wrote down and paint them into the actual city, so to speak.
Lot to do. Lots to do. So what was I saying here? We got a lot on our plates.
Yeah. Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
Friday, this Friday is the fantasy mapping show. Next Friday is the Call of Cthulhu game, so there will be no mapping live stream upcoming week and not the week after, unless I might do some extra, but don't count on it, so to speak. So yeah.
So let me go back here and just tell you, it's a 4-stream week coming up. Another one. So this is what we have going on for the week. So Wednesday night we have Ruins of Greyhawk. That got finalized yesterday. So if it's a ruin location, we may discuss it, just like some tonight too. So it's going to go all over the place, and just babble about ruins, because there's a lot of them in Greyhawk. So that'll
I have a couple that I think people have forgotten about.
Nice, that's good.
Bring up there. Yep.
That's fantastic.
And I'm going to bring in a couple of my own from my own campaign, just to show that you can add. So there will be at least 2 from my campaign.
Thanks,
and then there will be a bunch of others that others might have forgotten that are actually on the map.
Yeah, and that's the good thing about it. You guys are going to get a lot of cool data there. Where is it? There you go. I put in the Virtual Grok and the Campfire Discords in there too for everyone who wants to join up with them. Grok Online Discord, you can get through their website. So that's Wednesday. Thursday, first levels. Like I've always said, we're never doing first levels again, and then every 2 to 3 years we do a new one. So this is a supplemental group to the Norwell Headhunters. Welcome initiates. First level from scratch characters. I have 2 NPCs. I have a Shadow Match Bounty Hunter, and I have a straight fighter class, but she's a bow specialist. She's not an archer, so she's a bow specialist. And we have a whole bunch of all other ones. We know we have a Knight of the Chase coming. We got some other really neat things, especially Priestess of Baranar. Yeah. So we're some really cool. Yeah, that's great. Howry is awesome. Awesome.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Yep.
So that is coming on. That is. And that's a Portrait Works sponsor giveaway. So they're finally getting caught up in contact with the people. We're giving away another beta Thursday night for the program. So the portraits that I make, are the portraits that that you can make yourself. And just here, this is Sabine. Let me show you. The program is, and Tino Monkey Boogers will verify this because he's really involved with it. That the detail has really gotten good. So I'm going to show you one. This is I try to make it look like the miniature more and more. And here we go. This is where is she? I got so many in here I've done now. There we go. So there. Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. And that's done in Portrait Workshop. So
yeah,
you can really get detailed with this and give your character another aspect to miniature, and combined with this, you get a visual of. You like that? Yeah. So yep. Shadow Magic Bounty Hunter. Thank you. And that's that. If I can do it, and I'm an idiot when it comes to this stuff, you all can do that. And look at that. All right, look at that, and then look at this, and you tell me on the front how good this program is. You got this. Let me go to the actual adventure and look at there's the Bounty Hunter miniature in the front there. She's got 2 of them, but that's the figure right there. I mean, that's pretty close. Figure right there, front, and there she is, front face. So there you go, and that's the cool thing. Another visual, and I love to connect the actual what the character looks like in the game. That's why I love this program so much. So, and that they sponsor us now, so great thing. All right, and that is Thursday. Okay. Yep.
And we also been asked about Altamira heraldry, and you already have a bunch, but maybe we should do some more. We'll see.
Oh, absolutely. We need. So we need. There's some things we need, absolutely, and we can discuss that. Yeah, we're going to need.
But
I've
already been asked, and that someone asked me specifically, "Are we working on Altamira Herald?"
Yeah, there's one right
now.
I
said yes.
See this one right here that's on the screen? That is the Altamira Guild of Bounty Hunters. So they have them, but there's other groups and organizations that need it. The Knights, the Guard needs a symbol. Besides, there's a whole bunch. So that's going to be part of the box set. There's going to be a lot of great stuff. By the way, I have. World Spinner gave me professional rights to. Thank you, Scottish, for picking that up. World Spinner, who runs Portrait Works, gave me the full professional package. I can utilize any of the portraits in any publications. Controller Games can use it in the Altamira box set too if we need to. If we need fill-in spots for artwork, we can do that. So, yep. And thank you, Scottish, Jeff, for doing that. All right, so let me go to the next one. So Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Sunday next week. Okay? That's wrong. That's a week from. We have, let me see if it's the other ones here. All right. Note, Fantasy Mapping Show is Friday. I don't have a topic title yet for next Sunday because I'm working on a guest. John Birchall will be here the week from, supposedly. Well, hopefully that'll work. The Call of Cthulhu game is a week from Friday on the 26th. Okay, so we have stuff back-to-back Fridays coming up. I had 2 of them up. No wonder. So, all right, and that's what's going on. We'll get some other guests scheduled and some other fun things going as we go. But another 4-stream week coming up. Yeah, absolutely. We got a ton of stuff coming up. Tons of stuff. All right, so let's do the giveaways here. 2 giveaways. All right. I'm going to assume the first winner is going to want these. Okay? If you don't, and you win right off the bat, you need to tell me right away, okay? Please. Because the second one's going to get the Abyss Thor, and then one of these other 3. Or if you want some of the other two, that's okay, which is Crystal Cave, Needle, and Bone Hill. All right? All right, here we go. Closing it out. Hopefully Jay doesn't crash the stream. Hopefully everyone enjoyed the show. Thank you. We got a monster number. We're going to rate in the bones
wow.
as soon as we're done. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
By the way, one last thing while I'm doing this. It was a first. We were the top. We were the top D&D stream on a Saturday night for the first time ever last night, and I really appreciate it. So that was awesome to see. It was fantastic. Just that was a first. So here we go. Thank you. And it's all because of you. Madcam 2. Grats. Madcam 2. I saw you on. Madcam 2 was on at the beginning. Let me take a look. Wow, who knew? Madcam, do I have your address already? Have you given it to me before? If not, whisper me your full name and address. But if it's in there, whisper me it's here, okay? I just, it's tough for me to remember everyone because it'll be in my USPS. Okay, thank you. All right, you win 2 Militia King and Egg of the Phoenix. Second winner. Thank you. Scarshack. Grats. Ooh. Thanks for the kind words, Scarshack. You win Tomb of the Abyss Thor and one of your choice of the other 3. You tell me which one, Scarshack, and whisper me as well. I may have your address. If I don't, though, please just put it in there. I would appreciate that. And tell me if you want Needle, Crystal Cave, or Bone Hill in addition to Abyss Thor. Okay? Awesome. And thank you all for the support. Really appreciate it. We're going to raid into Bones tonight. You're welcome. We'll see you all in a couple nights. We'll see you Wednesday night for a great discussion on Ruins. And then we'll kick off the week. With some really nice stuff, discussions going on. Thank you, Anna, for coming on. Thank you for the second hype train of the night on a Gabbin. That's awesome. And we'll see you all in a couple nights. Have a good one, and please support everyone in the Greyhawk Creative Group right there. Love for you to do that. I know Agora's on tomorrow night at Monday night 7:30. He'd kick off the week, so check him out. I'm forgetting what button to hit now. Hit this one. All right, we'll see you all. Let's raid in with over 100. That would be so awesome.
Yeah. Especially since we don't have any special guests or anything. It's just a straight talk show.
Oh yeah, Scarshack. Well, let's talk. It's all good. It's Canadian.
Thank you, Egor Quest.
Yeah, I know. Sometimes we'll figure. I know what I'm gonna do. I think I make gifts. We'll get you. I got an idea. Raid. It's not. Come on, show. All right, here we go. Starting it up. It's having trouble. It's having mental difficulties there. Boom, boom, boom. It's loading up. 80, 82. All right, that's awesome. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hope you all have a good one. See you soon. Just make sure. Oh my God, she's like blasted, can't even see anything on her stream.